Dear students, we have reached the second of the videos of this third unit on the possibilities of narrative medicine to improve spiritual care. In the first unit, we look at the basic concept of narrative-based medicine. In a blog called Narrative-Based Medicine, an Introduction. In the second blog, we have seen how these concepts can be applied in the case of health professionals, how they open a way to improve spiritual care. All this we have seen in the blog called Narrative Medicine and Spirituality, the professional point of view. In this third unit, we are going to continue in this line of learning. If we have already seen the importance of the stories that relatives and caregivers have to tell us, in this second video lesson we will focus on the possibilities that narrative medicine has among patients suffering from pathologies. Illnesses are often life-threatening and can cause considerable emotional distress. Not only the risk of death, but also the presence of complex treatments, medications with innumerable side effects, and uncertainty can be a constant. Therefore, many people with illness begin a process of reflection on the meaning of life and on major spiritual and existential questions. People with serious illnesses reflect on life issues, and spirituality is often identified as a help to cope with the situation they are experiencing. However, they often do not know how to express these needs or do not feel that they will be listened to. So, this need remains unmet. It is common for health professionals to feel powerless at this time and unable to provide the kind of support that clients and family members need. To avoid this situation, we have already discussed how narrative-based medicine, through its tools, can help the professional to listen to what the patient has to say. Through its techniques, which we will see in the next unit, health professionals can learn to follow the narrative thread of the history told by the patient, imagining the narrator's situation, recognizing the multiple and often contradictory meanings of the word used and the events described, and in a way, entering the narrative world of the patients. In this way, health professionals who have been trained in narrative-based medicine techniques will be able to attend to the holistic needs of patients by being more emphatic and giving greater importance to active listening, while increasing the possibility of shared decision-making with the patient. Professionals trained in narrative techniques will have greater linguistic, interpretative, critical, reflective, communicative, and negotiation skills with the patients. A very important advantage of this attitude of the health professional is that the patient will feel more freedom to express him or herself. We must not forget that the patient is the center of our care. It is therefore important that together with a healthcare professional who is willing to listen and a patient who is willing to express themselves, we have the right tool to do so. There are several ways in which these elements in the unconscious, including spiritual feelings, can be brought to light. Narrative-based medicine can be an important instrument here. Life itself is narrative. Man is a storytelling animal. Human identity is narrative. We must take advantage of all these aspects to improve spiritual care. As Atkinson says, spirituality is also a narrative process, insofar as it has to do with the creation of meaning. Thus, the stories we tell can serve as an important internal resource despite the setback that may come our way in illness, we persevere on the path of personal development. The narration of a spiritual experience can contribute to the passing awareness of his or her own reality, and even contribute to a greater knowledge of self and his or her own needs. This step of realization is fundamental, and it contributes significantly to the conquest of conscious intentionality. This realization can be achieved through the narration of personal experience, among which we choose the narration of spiritual experience. In writing or narrating one's own spiritual experience, we can see that just as there are positive thoughts that move us and propel us to fulfill our ideals or our goals in life, there are also negative thoughts that take away our strength or divert our attention from the essential of our lives. The patient who narrates their stories is responding to the need to make sense, to discover or construct meaning in response to the events and circumstances that are happening in their life. Narrative can be a window into how individuals understand and make sense of what is happening, and can be a window into spirituality. To better understand what we are trying to say, and before moving on to the more concrete case of the technique used, we propose some readings that allow the student to approach the perspective of people suffering from an illness and how narrative can help them, also from a spiritual point of view. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video lessons.